If you're carrying on the meeting, be aware that you're muted.
We're not. Who is this then? Oh, wait.
Disconnect audio from the laptop, Joel.
There you go. Clicked on the wrong audio. Give Blake a moment to get in.
Blake is doing it.
You're getting in,
As
right?
usual. No. Muting people. We called the order?
Not yet.
Oh, gotcha.
We're waiting for our secretary to be appropriately positioned.
It's all right.
You ready? Okay. I think all systems are go. So I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:02. Additions and deletions. I think, well, no. There's still something to talk about. Anything, anybody have anything to add?
No.
No.
Correspondence policy, I wasn't able
Why?
to get anything.
Okay,
For that.
10.7,
Oh, we'll take that off.
right.
I mean, if we want to discuss it more. But I think that could be pushed further back without any consequence.
Yeah.
Mhm. I concur.
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay, privilege of the floor. Does anyone care to address the board? If you'd like to. Rhonda,
Hello, everybody. I first would like to say that I can't hear Blake. The second thing that I want to mention is on 10.1. If this has something to do with the state's law concerning property maintenance, then I feel there's no need to discuss it because it's a state law, and the code enforcement officer should be mandated by the town to enforce it. So that's all I have to say about that. But I have something else, and it has to do with Toma. And I I want to make sure that everybody understands that I really appreciate the town board giving me a grant to work on my house. I really do. And even those who opposed me getting the grant, I am grateful that I have the grant. But I have huge issues with Toma. And they start out small, like the fact that Toma couldn't get my name straight. They couldn't get my address straight. They thought I lived in Spencer. And I'm thinking, why do they think that somebody in Spencer is getting a grant from the town of Danby? And we argued about the location of the house all the way to the very end. And then there was an issue where they lied to me and told me that there were certain financial constraints that was very quickly debunked by the state office. And then we have the issue that is I mean, there are lots of other issues that I won't go into, but we have the issue that is currently going on. So because this had to do with, a lot of it had to do with mold mitigation, a state certified individual came in and wrote a protocol, and then someone else, to avoid any kind of influence or improper dealings, another party was hired to come in and actually do the work to mitigate the mold. And when that happened, a number of things happened that shouldn't have happened. And one of them was that the people who were doing the job with the mold, and they were doing a very good job, came in with all of this heavy industrial equipment, two blowers, two scrubbers that take the mold out of the air, and a huge dehumidifier. And they ended up using my electricity. Now I'm on heat. And all of a sudden, I got this enormous bill of $636 for a month of, and it almost wiped out my heap. So Toma allowed them um, to use my electricity when the amount of the electricity should have been estimated and put into the estimation of the amount of work that was being done, so that the money from the grant was being paid for the electricity. It's actually illegal for a commercial entity to use heap money, but they did that, and they didn't. I
Rhonda,
don't think they
you're gonna
realized.
have to be more succinct because you're already running up against 3 minutes.
Okay. So the last thing that I want to talk about is the fact that with Toma, they failed to anticipate that when you take off drywall and insulation, it has to be put back. And so it wasn't. There was no one designated to put it back or replace it. And so all of a sudden, there we are with the drywall and insulation being taken off. That's all moldy and wet. And there's a contract that both Joel and I signed that says that the town will pay for anything that's left out unexpectedly from the project, which means that the town is expected to pay for this drywall and insulation. Joel is sort of fighting that. He doesn't want to do it. And so I feel that this is something that Toma should pay for. I mean, actually right out of their own pockets, because they're the ones who didn't include the whole thing. They missed it. And, they missed it. So they missed it, and they need to pay for it, and not the town. But these are all things I could go on for an hour, and Joel knows
Right.
that.
Which
I could go on.
we're not going to allow, unfortunately.
Right,
So,
right. But I could go on for an hour about Toma, and I want you to understand that these are serious problems with Toma, and I am opposed to them being rehired. Thank you very much for all of your time.
Mr. Crane.
Hello. Let's see, I've jotted down 4 items here, and I think they're mostly pretty quick. First of all, I'd like to wish you all happy St. Patrick's Day, and my congratulations to anyone who's wearing green by chance or on purpose. Either way, how nice. The color balance of your video, however, has all of you somewhere behind a deep sea blue filter.
Isn't that interesting?
Interesting. It sort of takes away from the beautiful, vibrant green that I see in the middle. Speaking of video, I noticed that one of the town board members is attending by video, and I'd like to encourage all, shall we say, external attendances to keep their video on, so that we can actually see them during the meeting.
Yeah, Mark is observing, but not
He's observing,
participating.
he's not participating.
Oh, well,
He's sick, so he can't make the meeting.
okay, fine. You have a proposed executive session in the middle of the meeting. May I
Mhm.
suggest that you move it to the end so that those of us who like to stay with the meetings, how should I say, don't have to go and kill time in the middle of the meeting. And also, may I request that you, at the time you consider going into it, you do it based on there's no reason for going into an executive session given on the agenda. And of course, you will propose one of the 6 or 7 possible reasons. And finally, I read through what would you call this? Amendments to the zoning law that is linked. And I'd just like to call your attention to the fact that your section 501, your revision to that, I think you should think very carefully about, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I think you should think very carefully about it. I can think of one instance where had this wording been in the zoning law at the time, it would have changed the outcome of a planning board decision. I'm thinking of the David Hall property on Gunderman Road, because as it says here, if it does not clearly fall within any of the allowable uses, then it shall be denied. Well, that would have changed the outcome right there. That's just a comment that you should be thinking about it. I thank you. I hope I've used less than 3 minutes.
In range, thanks. Anyone else? Okay, correspondence.
There was an email from Jim Davis regarding Keto Road. It was essentially a reiteration of his last email.
I will mention it. I had some correspondence, but not really board correspondence, but I think it's worth noting for the record. With the Danby Community Park Association and Park about the skate park. I was concerned that, and this was a personal concern that was mine, which is why which led to my sending him an email. Because I see the Park Association reluctance or unwillingness to host the skate park as being potentially a rather important fork in the road for them, as well as for the town. So there had been a previous communication where they had indicated that designated parkland can't be used for this purpose. And that liability insurance concerns were a deterrent to them considering it. And in my correspondence, I pointed out that the area of the park property that we're talking about is not part of the designated park land, so that need not be an impediment. And the town's paying for the liability insurance anyway. And if it were not, and if it were an issue, then they could have always sold this appeal piece so that it became municipal property that you could then host a skate park. So I got a response from the Park Association Board of Directors, and in it they state very unequivocally that they're not interested in having a skate park on their property, and that they see no benefit to them in having it there. That it would detract from the natural nature of the park. And they don't want something like a hardscape feature like a concrete skate park right at the entrance of the park is inconsistent with the sort of natural thrust of the place. So I just wanted to note it for the record that we did approach them and ask for their consideration of locating the skate park there. So they had been suggested by others that in as much as we couldn't use the building on the former highway barn property to provide a cover for the skate park, that it would not then, why not put it in the park across the street from the town hall? So anyway, that's why, because they don't want us to. Okay, So Irene Weiser submitted a report in writing. The same report that will be in the town newsletter.
Joel, I'm here and I have my hand
Emma's
raised to
here.
speak to the issue you were just talking about. If that's,
Sure, I'm sorry, I didn't see.
No,
I didn't see.
It's not a discussion area.
It's not discussion.
well,
but
it's
I'm
not a discussion, but he's talking about communication, and I think you left out one part, which is key, which to transfer property in that location would mean that the park would not have ownership and direct control of the entrance to the park, and that's an issue as well. So I just wanted to make sure that that was in the record. But no,
Okay.
it's not in the interest and the plans for the park at this time.
Thank you, Pamela. Duly noted. So anyway, so Irene's report is in writing, if anyone wants to read it. I think it's linked, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's linked.
First edition for the.
The newsletter, okay.
Yes, right.
I title it the mid-March legislature.
Yes. And I see Keith is here this evening. Keith, would you like to say anything in highway related? At least I think he's here.
He is.
Hi, Keith. He's out again. He's getting coffee or
Yeah,
something.
he may not be at his screen.
Right, right.
Well, if he shows up later, we can come back.
Yeah.
Moving on then to the, oh, wait,
Oh,
you just got unmuted.
Oh,
Are you there, Keith?
yeah, I'm here. I actually, I did. Went away from the screen for a minute. I missed the, do you have a question?
Well, we wanted to know whether we're at the Highway Superintendent Keith Shipman report. If you want to have anything you wanted to share about highway.
Well, I didn't really have anything prepared at this time. We're all keeping busy, ready for spring, and we've got a lot of work lined up on pipes. Lot of different roads that we're going to be working on, some paving, trying to figure out what to do with a couple of the developments. We've got probably hopefully about 2 miles of paving coming up, that we've already got our material for. I'm trying to think. This is kind of I didn't really put anything together on a highway report, but we have a lot of good stuff that's coming up. Mostly pipes and stuff that here in the near future. We got a lot of culvert pipes to put in, like in the next month or so. And that'll keep us busy through the spring.
Yeah.
Keith,
Yep.
where do you get stone? I know we buy a lot of stone. Where do you get stone?
We get aggregate all over as far as some of it comes from Robinson's. We get stone as far as Canoga, which is it's 50 minutes away.
Right.
At the other end
So
of the
yeah,
lake.
that was actually my question. If most of the cost of stone is from the trucking and you're getting stone from an hour away, that
Yep,
seems.
that's correct. And the reason for that is because when you're paving and you're doing road work, you need to get clean stone, and in order to make pavement work, if you get dirty aggregate, you mix it with oil and stuff, it breaks down easy, and you might have a road that's going to last a year. This is what's happened in the past.
It happened at Old Town Village, right? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Old Town Village is that's a very good example. Thank you. And it's deteriorating. It really, we're trying to decide what to do with it now, but we're going to put a cleaner top on it for right now. Right now, the road's in procurement, so we can't go in there and repave that road. We could probably do a surface treatment on it, but it technically really needs a little bit more than that, but we're just gonna have to do the best we can with it. You have to do something with it or we're gonna lose it altogether. So the bottom line is, I think we'll probably seek out some clean aggregate to put on top of it. We'll try to fix what's there. We'll put some 1STs down, which is very clean. It's about a 4-week process of putting these STs down, and then we'll put a couple courses of Bs over that, which is a finer aggregate. And eventually you'll get to a nice surface of the road, and we're confident that that will last hopefully to the next time the procurement's up again, which is you probably have about 4 or 5 years left before the procurement's up on the previous pavement. So that's where
thank
we're
you.
at with that.
Mhm. Yeah, Blake?
I just wanted to see if maybe you had anything relating to the correspondence from a resident about Peter Road. If you had anything to say about that. I know last week or 2 meetings ago, I guess, on the correspondence, you had attached your letter responding a year ago, but if you had anything more to add to that.
Could you hear Blake, Keith?
Actually, no, I was having some problems hearing them.
Yeah,
I
you're a
heard
little far
something to
away.
do with Peters Road.
Yeah, you just asked whether you had any comments about it, because there've been correspondence.
Okay, so, a lot of these dirt roads, um, this time of year is the thaw for dirt roads, and we get a lot of these newer residents calling in, and everybody wants their dirt road paved. We have about 30 something miles of dirt roads in the town. And I would have to greatly ask why is Peters Road more important than everybody else's dirt road in the town? There's a total of 9 residents on the road, on Peters Road that live there. We do look at traffic counts. There's a lot of things that we take into consideration when we get ready to pave a dirt road. There's other dirt roads that are more well used, such as like Station Road, Updike Road, even Comfort Extension. There's a lot of roads that are used a lot more within that are main arteries, so to speak, into the town that really I would think that you would want to put a little more priority towards that, the higher traffic counts. Then the other thing is too, if people want to have their dirt roads paved, maybe, I don't know, there's a lot of road to be paved, and if they can get a petition and go around, get a petition and see about maybe the town wants to start borrowing money and add it to the tax bill to start paving more roads. I mean, if you can get that signed, and maybe that's not what I really would like to see, but maybe other people would like to see that. I don't know. But as far as paving roads, I mean, we can only do so many a year. And I think for right now, I think we're probably more concerned about like Station Road for what I'm seeing, Station Road and Updike Road. We redid Land Road, which was that was stone and oiled at one time, but it was back to dirt. It's not that we're ignoring the dirt roads. This year we have eyesights on Brown Road down in West Danby is in an absolutely horrible condition for the residents down there. That's been like that for quite some time now, and it really needs to be addressed. The top of Durfee Hill Road needs to be addressed. It's just unbelievable. And then, you know, when you got 10-wheelers and stuff off the road and they're in the ditch and stuff because of the ice, this is, you know, we gotta, you know, we're focusing on the roads that need it the most. So,
Well, speaking for myself, I think you're doing a pretty good job of making those judgments.
well, thank you. It's a tough call, you know. I'm for all the residents, and I wish we had all the funds to do everything and just get it done. But highway is very limited on what we can do. It's you know, if we just throw something down, it's going to be a Band-Aid to, you know, you might not even get a year out of a road, and that to me is pretty senseless to the taxpayers. We constantly go out, if somebody just calls in and says, you know, hey, this road's horrible, the potholes are horrible, we go right out and address these problems. We don't sit back and say, you know, the heck with you know, the highway goes right out, and, you know, I send guys out and we take care of the issues. You know, we have our messages, we have a response, we have time cards and stuff to show that we've done the work. We go out and we fix these. You know, we're taking care of issues every day, and on a a lot of issues. It's not just a few things that come in through highway. There's a lot of stuff that comes through highway. But we do the best we can with what we have. So.
And Keith, haven't you've put some time and effort into Peters Road?
That's correct, and I'm glad.
You've done that within the last couple of
that.
years there, because and you've done some things to it that really hadn't been done in quite some time to make a better situation.
Yep, coming into this, Peters Road had a really bad water issue on the hill, where the steepest part is on it. There was a water issue, and we ended up putting it in some drainage along the inseam of the hill. I went out, we notified all the residents of what was going on at that time. We had to get the okay from some of the residents to go ahead and put culverts in, put the ditch in. Then we went to, and then to speak on something that was said on the last weekend's meeting about Peters Road and it being a trout stream, and we're doing things to, you know, not so great for the trout stream and all this. Well, we also, as the taxpayers, have also put in, I want to say they put in maybe $13,000 worth of new head walls on Peters Road for the pipe that's down below. And we actually hired that out to somebody that's certified to work on trout streams. So you know, to hear that we're, you know, doing stuff that's, you know, not friendly to the environment is nonsense. I just want to say that out loud. And we are very proactive at the town of Danby. We're very careful with our salt usage. Yeah, to hear that we're not, we have figures. I mean, we can very easily show you everybody that orders salt in the municipalities, you can look up how much salt that they use, and you can look up these numbers, and you can see that what the town of Danby is using compared to other townships, and we are way below what other towns are using. So I can assure you that. And but yeah, I don't know if anybody's got any more other questions or
Thank you, Keith.
concerns or.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks,
Yeah,
Keith.
you're welcome.
Moving on, minutes.
I move that we approve the February 20th meeting minutes.
I'll second.
You want to do them together,
Second.
Ready to vote?
huh? I am. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Comments?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Larkins?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes,
Thank you.
I'll move the March 3rd meeting minutes.
I'll second.
great.
Comments?
Yes.
Bill? Yes. Larkins?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
Thank you.
It was sort of a last minute addition, but you have the account analysis and by way of this part of the month supervisor's report.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were no transfers, so we can go right to the warrants.
Yeah. I'd like to move the general fund abstract 6 vouchers 85 through 114, $29,954.53.
Second,
Who got that?
did I get it? Any comments? Okay,
Comments?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Larkins?
Yes.
Daniel?
yes,
Thank you.
I'd like to move the highway fund abstract 6 vouchers 32 through 48 for $54,300.59.
Second.
Zach, we're ready, yes, yeah,
Comments?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Larkins?
Yes.
Daniel?
yes,
Thank you.
I'd like to move the West Danby Water District abstract 6 vouchers 5 through 7 for $1,134.21.
I'll second.
Comments?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Larkins?
Yes.
Daniel?
yes.
Thank you.
Joel? Joel, can I
Yes,
just say something really quick? You know, we were going to fill out that audit sheet for the credit cards.
yes,
I did that. It's
Yeah.
on the table. It's either in your folder, but it is on the table there.
it's right here next to me, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, just my little rendition of it. If you want to pass that around or have some others take a look at it, I know it's just a process we're getting started with, but I did fill that out, and so you guys can put eyes on it.
Yep, and I also have Leslie did it,
Pulled
so.
one out- I
Oh,
filled one
cool.
out too.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
I mean, there are 2 things that we need to get people, I guess,
You don't want to do it, another one.
we need to remind people to initial the receipts.
I had the
Um,
same thing. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot, that's one of those things they expect us to do. So just initial the receipt.
So the one that's attached to the voucher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I found there was no way to tell where these items were sent. Like
I came
couldn't
up with the
tell.
same thing. I came up with
Yeah.
the same thing.
Tell
Yeah.
whether they came to town hall or somebody's home. So that's, I don't know if there's something we can figure out with that. And we gotta get all card users to sign a credit card agreement. So that was kind of fun doing that.
Yeah, it was. And I indicated those exact 3 things. I
Yeah,
just put
you
something.
did?
Yep, we'll be working on it we'll be working on
She
was
items
looking
for
at
the next
mine.
time.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I've got, those exact 3 things, if you take a look at
I
the
see.
one that I did. So we were on target with each other.
Cool. Cool.
But that means it works. All right, moving on to business. So the 10.1, the possible executive session, is really not a proposal for an executive session tonight as it is a discussion about whether there ought to be one. Because we have new board members, the enforcement of property maintenance was an issue for the prior board. It remains an issue for me, but if y'all don't know, the code officer who's responsible for enforcement here is not answerable to me or to any one of us. He answers to the collective group. So I'm proposing that we, perhaps at the next time, ask Steve to be in conference with us about enforcement matters. And I think that that's legitimate reason for an executive session.
Okay, so we'll ask him if he can come to our
Yeah.
next meeting?
Is that agreeable?
Yes,
April 7th.
yeah. Okey-dokey.
As part of our responsibilities as administrators of these CDBG program grants, we need to declare April to be a fair housing month in the town of Danby. So I move that we so proclaim.
I second.
I have a question.
Okay,
The last sentence says that the town clerk is going to publish the proclamation in the newspaper of general circulation. Is that something we can do for free? Or do we have to pay for that?
you probably have to pay for it.
That would be,
Can we just put it in the newsletter?
we can absolutely put it in the newsletter.
Okay,
Whether or not that counts towards that,
well, it's a
sometimes it
newspaper.
has to go with like legal notice kinds of things. And sometimes it's fine for it to go.
Yeah, this is a question for Greg, really, to say,
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
what would satisfy? Does the spirit of it and is the letter of it?
Right.
The spirit would be better satisfied by putting it in our newsletter.
Yeah.
Let's
And
expand.
unless the letter requires that we put it in the Ithaca Journal, which is our newspaper of record, then I would be
Okay.
inclined to put it in the newsletter, but we can ask Greg.
Okay,
And act accordingly. So let's see, was there a motion
Yes.
yep,
in a second?
yep,
Are we ready?
yes.
Yes.
Barkins?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes. And you'll ask Greg, right?
I mean, maybe we might even want to think about switching.
Well, the trouble is
Ithaca
that,
Times and
I-
stuff
right,
I
right.
mean-
The trouble is that the
free.
law requires it to be a daily.
Well, what about towns that don't have a daily newspaper?
I don't know what they do.
Well, we could find out.
I mean, I think there's a couple of sort of obsolete requirements, but the legislature hasn't removed them.
Right,
I believe is specifically had the legislature at the state level is aware that that is an issue.
Yeah.
And that is something that they are looking into.
Well, then I remember the county legislatures has specifically objected to this as well.
yeah. Okay,
Is this something you do every year?
Yep,
yeah, it's tied into the grant, the CDBG.
you have to redo it every year.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, it seems very performative outside of that, and I was just curious, and I appreciate that clarification.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So adding the data center cryptocurrency mining definitions to the zoning law. I thought that Greg would be here tonight, but I know he's not feeling well.
I know,
But he has added that language.
yeah,
And so I think we're ready to propose the package again. What I don't have clarity from Greg, and I tried calling him, but the time I tried to call him, it was too late in the afternoon, didn't hold him, is whether or not there's time between now and the next meeting to have the public hearing on the 7th or not,
why wouldn't there be?
because the 239 review by the county.
But we could have a public hearing, that's not tied into the public hearing. Why, I mean, a couple days ago, I had said something to him and he sounded favorable, but then when I asked him again today, he didn't respond. I think he's in bed.
Could be,
But I mean, we could have the public hearing.
that's true. We probably could have the public hearing. We
We
might
don't
not,
have to vote on that same night.
right?
I mean,
We could.
if we haven't heard from the county
we could-
or Guy before.
Guys
that,
already reviewed
We
it.
can, he
Guy-
did already?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
did he review the specific language? Not sure.
right,
he did review the proposal and basically say that, you know, if this is where you want to go, it's okay.
Okay. All right, so it's just the county who, you know, if this is similar to what Dryden did,
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be
they
any,
had no trouble with Dryden.
I don't think they'll have any trouble either.
Yeah.
It's only a question of whether or not they get back to us before the 7th,
Yeah,
because they got 30 days, that's the thing.
right. I mean, I would rather have the public hearing at the next meeting. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I
had
know.
people
Yeah.
say, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
And I'd like to, people, you know, there've been workshops and, you know, publicity and
mhm.
people, it's fresh in people's minds. It would be nice to let them talk about it.
Yeah,
And
sure.
we don't have to vote if we, you know, if we don't.
If we need to postpone the vote.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, with that in mind, I move that we propose this package, including the data center and cryptocurrency mining definitions for consideration, and that we have the public hearing on the 7th.
I'll second that.
Any
And I.
other
there's one other-
comments?
Yeah. I think I just lost it.
Oh, that could be a problem. If you want to do it, say this.
I was thinking about something. No, if I think about it later.
Yeah, as long as it's not going to derail
No.
the vote, which I don't think it will.
Oh, I know what it was. We need to make sure, oh, I assume we're also voting on the map,
The map.
the zoning map.
Are there changes to the zoning?
I don't
map?
remember.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, there
Right.
are some minor changes. I know he was gonna add in the ODA. Already thought that was a good idea, but I thought there were some parcels that were commercial that got left off of the last map. That
Oh, yeah.
he had so
But that was that,
we need to.
that wasn't incorporated in the package when, the way it was last.
Well, where is it?
No, I didn't.
mean, I haven't seen
I
it.
confess I didn't look at it. Yeah.
But we need to make sure that people know that the map is included in that. And we need to make sure people have the map.
Mhm. If it was included, I'm not,
About it.
we talked about it. I don't remember it being part of the package that Greg worked out, but maybe it was an oversight.
It was, and I even made copies.
Okay, well, if it was in the previous version, it ought to be in this version.
Yeah,
Because all they did was add
right.
the data center.
The one thing that I don't see on here is that ODA.
Up in Belvedere, the one on off of Marsh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But. That's my only question about this.
Mhm.
We could, I guess, do the map separately.
We could, but I mean, but if you think it was on the previous proposal, which we already looked at and okayed,
Thought it was supposed to.
well, if it was supposed to be.
I mean, that's when it came up that I said, well, what about that ODA?
Yeah.
So I don't.
Hmm.
Anyway. We can clear that up today or tomorrow,
Yeah. Well,
the map, whether it needs to go with this package or not.
because the language was in there, right? But what was missing was the locations on the map.
Well, the map is like, the map is our zoning. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's regarding where the zones are, but
right.
yeah.
We
So-
should have a current map.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything was updated. I think the last time the zoning map was officially approved, but there were some commercial lots that were left off.
Yeah.
Of the map.
Yeah.
So he's there, I think they're put back on here. On the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So the map needs to be approved as well as.
Well, it's the map is part of the zoning.
Okay.
I mean, so
Mm-hmm.
it should be. you know, if it's impacted, it should be approved every time.
Right.
So, anyway,
So,
so do you want
Okay.
meetings, Craig, about that?
yeah, well, I mean, I think if you, see who moved it, was it, whose motion was it, is it mine? Yeah.
Yours.
I accept as a friendly amendment, the inclusion of the map corrections.
I'll second that friendly amendment. It's still light outside. Do you
I
see
know.
that?
Yeah, yeah. The days are getting longer, the sun's getting stronger, even though it looks like winter.
Yes.
Yes.
Larkin?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
Okay. That's exciting.
if it happens, if we don't end up postponing, then it again.
I mean, people are really concerned about it.
Mhm. Let's see, so we just rescheduled the public hearing, that was the next item,
10-5.
so we're on to 10-5.
Okay.
Now we have two versions of the facility meeting room use policy, or facility meeting use policy. We have a town clerk revised version, and we have a Leslie Connors revised version. And one called 1, and the other one's called 2. Both are linked to the agenda. Let's see. Looking for it. I confess I like Leslie's better.
Well, I think, I mean.
I'm gonna move Leslie
the
first.
Policy, I mean,
Yeah, we can talk
there's
about it.
like a detailed procedure,
So,
that I thought it's sort of like a clerk manual procedure about what the clerk's office needs to do, you know, when somebody knocks on the door.
that was actually something that at training, they talked to us about specifically, was making sure that policies, okay.
Yeah, I gotta say, you're not gonna be heard.
Okay, I got thumbs up and approval.
Yes.
Wonderful. I look like a podcaster.
Yes.
So part of the things that I learned at training was involving sort of marrying, and establishing really in stone policies as part of procedure. Making sure that duties are written out in stone and publicly available, so that way there is sort of a record of, okay, here's what's going to be generated, here's how it's going to be kept, so that is all publicly available. So the idea of having a very thorough procedure, and I agree that it's rather wordy. The point was to be thorough, not necessarily excessively verbose, but to consider like what happens in all of the cases, what happens when the board denies, if the board denies a request, how does that play out? Is there like a requirement for me to notify that within 30 days or 2 months or like whenever I feel like it? I do agree that there can be some flex within that, but I think before we have flex, we must have a muscle there in the first place to build off of. And I think adopting a
Nice metaphor. That's good.
I'm English too good. I think adopting a more thorough policy, then if it comes down to it, like changing it and we go, okay, that part didn't work. I think it's more. I think it would be more appropriate to adopt a more thorough policy and then change things based off of, situations that come up that don't exactly fit into that, rather than sort of it's not to call your policy much looser, but it didn't have as many of the like if else clauses kind of.
If there's then that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm coming from it the exact opposite, where just keep it simple.
Yeah.
And I mean, there, at least until now, there's never been a problem, with the exception of that stupid insurance.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Started this whole thing.
Yeah.
That we wanted to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And then these other couple little things came up, but, I mean, it is just a policy. It's not, it isn't a procedure.
Yeah.
So Blake is the
So-
first person that deals with these people.
What's that?
Blake is the first person that deals with these people when they come in to request the room.
Might be, yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he's the last person that's scheduling them.
right.
Does this make sense for Blake to kind of have the reins on this?
Well, they're giving him the reins either way.
I know that.
Yeah.
But like, if he feels more comfortable with the wording of it, does that make more sense? I don't.
Well, there's no reason why Blake couldn't have
Yeah.
that procedure being a clerk procedure in that office so that everybody in that office has an idea of what Blake expects
Okay,
them to do when somebody knocks on the door and he's not there.
great.
I mean, that totally makes sense to me.
So these are just dancing.
But
partners.
as a town board policy, to me, it was just leave it simple. But
Yeah, to sort of that extent, it's a kind of a question of whether it's town board policy or town policy as a whole.
it's a town board policy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, either we approve or we make it so that you can approve.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I mean, as policies go, this is basically a policy not to have a policy.
Right. Right. I even forget why it came up to begin. Oh, there was.
Well, because
about certain groups.
once upon a time, when we had a discussion about this, it was a question of, are we going to establish criteria that would enable somebody to know if they were, considering wanting to use the space, whether or not they would be eligible.
Right.
So you'd have to have criteria. So then if you're going to do that, then you can say, well, on what basis are we going to be able to say no or yes? And that was a can of worms. And we punted. We basically said, well, we'll decide on a case by case basis,
Yeah,
which is to say, we didn't put any criteria in place. It just says, we'll deal with it if we have to.
right. And if it's done in a public meeting, people can hear
Yeah.
the reasons.
What we're thinking about,
for,
why we thought it was a good idea or not. Yeah. What do you think, Ryan?
I think I do like the shorter one if Blake would go along with that, and I think, yes, Blake could put this policy more procedural. I don't see any conflict
Yeah.
between the two.
Right, I agree.
Sure. Yeah.
So with that in mind, I'd like to move option 2, which is Leslie's version.
I'll second.
Okay, good. Now, just the way we should have done. Now we can talk about it.
Yeah. Anybody have anything to say?
Anything left to say?
Thank you for doing that, both of you.
I think you've got your procedure.
I know, I mean, you've got, don't you have a little file thing? I'm like, hey, county mental health didn't have a policy and procedure manual until I showed up. And boy, were they not happy.
One of the things that I think has been not the greatest struggle, but the greatest learning opportunity is, Mariah was a wonderful town clerk, and I learned so much from her.
Yeah.
Hit the button coming.
Hold on.
She's got an open water there, you better be careful.
Well, why do we do it this way?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, just because we do.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but, sometimes it's good to have that in stone. That was something that we got done for the clerk audit.
Yeah.
Was we didn't necessarily have written procedures for why we did things and why we, why things played out. So,
Huh.
yeah, it's been on my mind.
Isn't there a book that they,
Well, that's.
You mean the town clerk's manual?
The book is.
the secret manual?
Yeah, the book is so vague in some places.
Yeah,
that-
that's
Yeah.
true, that's
Try to
true.
just fill in every one, and if you don't fill in the lines the way they want you
Yeah.
to, eventually they'll ding you for it, but you won't know till. you
Yeah,
get
oops.
dinged.
Yes. Yeah.
that's what the policy.
Yeah.
So ultimately, town board policy, cool.
Okay, ready to vote?
Connors.
Yes,
Dillon.
Yes.
Larkin.
Yes.
Gagnon.
Yes.
Thank you.
do we want to, I mean, I know that recently we've had a couple requests to use the property.
Which we
One of
approved last
them-
time,
One of them,
Todd Rose last time.
yeah, but I was thinking, you know, if, when these come up and we're gonna consider starting a list, I would propose that we start a list with CSI.
No,
That
no,
if CSI requests, Blake can just schedule it.
Mhm.
Because they
Yeah,
just recently
Yeah.
asked, and if we wait a whole nother year,
right. You got a
way
motion?
down in the end of the list.
And possibly also the youth. You know, the after school.
Well,
youth.
we gave them a blanket,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's right.
but we didn't do it for CSI. So is that a motion?
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Seconded. So we're starting a list here. We got,
This is the beginning of the list.
yeah,
That Blake is gonna be responsible for.
yes. CSI's the first time. I'll tell Gracie, she'll be really, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heads up. We add a pre-approved list, would you guys be interested? She's like, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Who was that, CSI? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they, every year they,
Connor.
yes.
Dillon.
Yes.
Larkin.
Yes.
Gagnon.
Yes,
Thank you.
Still light out. What happened in Geneva?
all right. Correspondence policy we deferred, there's nothing happening there yet.
Policy proposal for special meetings to pay bills. Did everybody read that?
Yes,
I changed
Matter of
it to address financial matters.
yes, more broadly stated.
Yeah. Well, because there were
What it amounts to.
other examples. There was one at the end of the year that we've run into before, where we had an extra meeting to close out books or something. I mean, so,
Oh, yeah.
but I
So,
don't know.
was
Did
it-
anybody look at it? rip it
Yes.
apart, look at it again?
The only problem I had with it was, I don't see any reason not to have them be Zooms. It's not
If
that
you're
hard to
not-
turn it
well,
on.
It depends on, I mean, if it's gonna be, you know, we're gonna need to have 3 people.
Yeah,
All right. You're not here. It's Mariah,
yeah,
and
I
Sam.
can, this is not hard to learn, how to do this.
We don't have to Zoom, and if
I know
it's
we don't have to Zoom,
If
but
it's specific, I feel like these would be short notice, 24-hour notice, little meetings to deal with a credit card bill.
right,
And if we take minutes and have an audio recording, I think that, and people can come and sit.
well, you know, as a
That's-
practical matter, I will attend by Zoom.
Well, that's because you don't want to drive.
That's correct.
Yeah. So the rest of us will be here, and we won't need you because we'll have 3 people.
It doesn't mean I don't want to be here.
Well, I just,
I just don't want to drive, that's all.
okay, so maybe.
So if you
think
do a
of it
Zoom,
as-
then it's not,
I don't feel like we need to say it will be by Zoom. It may or may not, I guess.
well, what I would simply delete that
It
Zoom
says
statement.
attendance by Zoom may not be available.
Well, he's crossed that out.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't be changing what I wrote.
Well, I track changes.
He did.
Well,
I propose deleting it, which is right, that's.
I would like to be able to leave that as an option for if
If what?
things aren't working, if the 3 people who are here don't know how to do it, or it's an extra meeting that could be a 10-minute meeting. If people want to come, they can come. And we can make audio recordings available if people want to hear what was said.
Well, for one thing, if you do Zoom, then you got your audio
I'm
recording.
just
How else are we going to do it otherwise?
Where's,
Do we have an alternate method for audio recording?
I think,
Yeah, yeah.
what's his name?
Records it,
Yeah,
yeah, automatically.
right.
You could have left the mic on, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe we should wait for Mark to be here, because I know he actually mentioned that, you know,
What is
Zoom.
the reluctance to have it on Zoom?
Just, it's just another technical thing that may not be working for whatever reason. Blake isn't here, no, you know,
Well, Blake will be
It's-
here, presumably.
we don't know,
Somebody needs to be here from
I
the
don't
clerk's office.
I think the three of us would get together without Blake,
oh, well, if
unless,
we need,
unless we had it designated.
Well, I mean, Blake should be here or a designee because it's a town board meeting.
but it's a special meeting.
Yeah,
It's called so that we don't have to pay late fees on bills.
yeah,
And there may be, you know, a 24-hour notice.
yeah.
I don't think we should set us up for failure if indeed we aren't able to somehow do Zoom.
Blake,
I can tell you that there will be 4 of these meetings needed
Right.
this year, and next year there will be 6 of these meetings needed for credit cards. So we do know well enough in advance which one, you know, just looking at the calendar and knowing when the bill is due, which months we're going to need those meetings,
Yeah.
if that helps at all.
we could schedule it far enough in advance that we can get on the calendar regularly instead of being called 24 hours beforehand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would,
But then again, there's other things that come up too that can happen, not just
Right.
credit cards,
Right.
you know?
Well, that's right, as Leslie mentioned,
Yeah.
mentioned in broadening the scope of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can end up with a proliferation of extra meetings just to play bills. or
right,
deal with-
I will take that off and we'll
Yeah.
just, if it's a problem, then we'll have to redo it, that's all.
So you had a comment?
Yeah, just like. I am not super great at Zoom, I'm still learning Zoom,
Yeah.
it's still a bit of a headache for me. We recently had an issue with the website not updating, just at
Right,
all.
right.
Yeah, remember last meeting?
Yeah.
Right.
The last special.
The
meeting?
last special meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still having an ongoing issue with the website not updating fully. I
Huh.
think I figured it out, I think I solved it for good, but we're still, yeah. So there are times where, you know, unless we have a designated Zoom meeting spot of, if in doubt, use the first meeting link of the month, which we could very easily state.
We could, I mean, you could just use one Zoom link for all of the town board meetings.
Yes, but in the Zoom recording itself, because I remember why that creates a problem, because when at the last meeting, we used the first or second, whichever one, was linked on the agenda, and it recorded and labeled that one as first meeting. So there were 2 first meetings. And I was like, wait, what? Which, you know,
There ought to be a technical fix for that.
yeah. The technical fix is a different Zoom thing.
Mhm.
That records it separately, although that's mostly a naming convention, so it is simple enough, but it does create unnecessary confusion.
Right. Right. So if
If it was just called town
Was there-
Zoom,
if power is out, we have no internet, are we not able to have a meeting?
that's not, I mean, of course you can have a meeting.
Okay.
There can be, you know, technical reasons why not to Zoom.
Okay,
But as a matter of policy, we committed to having our meetings be, you know, accessible to the public remotely whenever possible. Doesn't mean
so
that
it might not.
there's always a possibility it might not work. If power goes out, if we still,
Okay.
if a quorum here, we don't have to say when we're gonna not have the meeting or end the meeting because people watching
Okay.
remotely can't
It might
be here.
be. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't, so long as that's understood.
And there's an option to actually log into Zoom and schedule the meetings in Zoom. Just, and then that'll give you a code and you slap the code on the special meeting.
Yeah, but then it's specific to that meeting.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you could, instead of having a first meeting and a second meeting, we could just have a town board meeting Zoom and use it for all our town board meetings.
Right.
Just don't label it first or second. I mean, I'm part of a group now, the trail group, you know, we've been meeting every couple of weeks for years now, same link each time. And it works. You know, you don't have to remember, say, where's the link for this meeting? Although Rod always sends it nonetheless. But, you know, if you couldn't find it, you could use it from last time or the time before, because it's always the same one.
So was that the only thing that you crossed off?
Well, Mariah's got the track changes. There was one other, I think, in the beginning there, you had there's
There was an is.
there's an is,
To avoid, I got it.
yeah,
Real bad.
Is maybe
The
called.
purpose, permanent versus special meetings.
The first bullet point.
you know, is May.
Where,
The town supervisor is May.
well, is, what is the
Is.
problem with that?
Is maybe.
Yeah, none, is maybe. What's wrong with you? Okay,
Maybe called
So
by the
that-
supervisor,
okay.
or by 3 town board members. That was the only, yeah.
wasn't this set is, it was the other is. Okay,
So do we have a motion yet?
No.
No.
no, oh, we should have done the motion first.
Yeah, well, details. My brother would say. I move that we approve the policy with a couple of deletions that I made.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Okay,
Yes,
Yes.
Larkin?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you.
See, let's skip the next one. So we're at 10.8. All right. So we have we've got our contractor lined up to administer the CDBG grant program. And it's worth noting for Rhonda and others who are interested, that this was the only submission. Despite a fairly long list of direct contacts with potential submitters, this was the only submission.
right,
So it's contingent because if there's only one, the Office of Homes and Community Renewals, OCR, has to approve that you only have the one.
okay,
So we would, I propose, or I move that we award the contract to Toma, contingent on agreement by the
I'll second that.
necessary agency.
Are these supposed to be 2025?
No.
Okay, so in two places it says
Oh, wait,
2000.
wait. No, the grant was 2025.
This is not for 2026?
The award, the contract, yes. So I don't have that in front of me, but
So it's 2026.
Grant
Well,
administration and program delivery, town of Danby's 2000.
yeah, it's a 2025 grant.
Mhm.
And then the second whereas has the 2026 date, which is correct.
It just read to me like those 2025 should have been 26.
Well, this says it's due.
I assume it's the same.
2026.
It's just probably the same resolution as we did last year.
Well, you know, there's always that risk that
Right.
it was just
Right.
carried over and you didn't fix it.
That's what it.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not. It's because the grant was granted to us in 25. And the implementation of this approval is for the,
Accepts a proposal for grant administration and program delivery of the town's 2025 program.
yeah,
We did that already for 2025, didn't we?
no, that was a 24 program.
So we did nothing in 2025?
Well, no, it transpired in 25,
Okay,
I think. Isn't that right?
well, I just think we should look into making sure that those dates are the years right.
It doesn't make sense. It seems like it should be 2026.
Where?
Because we did this,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, because the
accepted their,
delivery wasn't told.
we accepted the,
2026 here.
Yes,
we
It
accepted.
says
the
2025, 2025, but it could add, you could add grant.
I think the thing, I didn't have time to do it, but I would have gone back and looked at the one that we
Or previous
did
one
last
from the
year to see what it said.
I'm pretty sure that Greg did this deliberately,
Uh-huh, okay.
based on the fact that we were awarded the grant in 2025. Because all the other, all the other dates are 2026, and it's a resolution of 2026, and it's it's dated for Toma as of, 2026, so I think it's all right.
Program delivery of the town's 2025 program.
Yeah,
Because they gave us the money in 2025.
yeah.
Okey doke. Let's go.
Okay,
Any date changes to those?
Guess not.
Okay.
I think it's okay to
Alright, Connors,
Yes.
Dylan,
Yes.
Larkin,
yes.
Jamie.
yes. Okay, we have received from the Conservation Advisory Council,
Oh, yeah.
the long-awaited, annual report,
Yeah.
which, reads pretty well to me.
Yeah.
So it is part of our responsibilities in this matter to approve it and then send it on to the DEC, which is provided for in statute. So I move that we accept the report and ask the clerk to send it on to the DEC.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Okay,
Connors.
Yes.
Dylan,
Yes.
Larkin.
Yes.
Jamie.
yes,
Yes.
all right, TCNS recommendations. Yeah, why don't you speak to that?
Yes, so I put in the meeting folder, a couple of quotes that we received, regarding the, quarterly technical review, I think is what they call it, or how the town is doing IT wise, and cybersecurity wise. They had a couple recommendations. One of them was replacing 2 outdated PCs that we currently have. One of them is over a highway, one is actually the one down there.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's that one?
The.
Oh, that one, okay, and the one in
Highway.
someone using it?
Yes, yeah.
Because there's one, nobody's using it, well, actually, there's a couple that nobody's using it highway.
Really? Oh,
They said it was one that was currently in use.
Okay,
And it seems to be one that Keith and Jack might use regularly. So that one would probably be a good candidate for total replacement.
that's what I kind of wonder about, because I mean, the only thing we use it for is to Zoom.
Yeah, so I asked them to send me a quote.
Where is this thing you're talking about?
It's the computer that's on the floor there.
Under the screen.
That's the one that computer is providing that video.
I mentioned that to them.
Is it on its side? Is that what it is? Okay.
Sole purpose of that computer is to provide a Zoom screen for us.
I mean, could we get a Chromebook that we
That's
provide?
right.
Yeah,
They haven't gotten back to me about that. I'm hopeful that they will be able to quote out, a really cheaper fix because.
Well, I'm wondering whether this, the cheapest fix might not be to just keep using this one, even though it's out of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still using mine.
For our, that training earlier, there was talk about, unupdated software, specifically having security risks involved.
Yeah.
So one other option, that's sort of kind of a Band-Aid solution, is, there's a special name for it, but basically extended.
Oh, yeah, you can get extended, they'll buy you another year, but as of last October, it buys you another year.
Yeah, so yeah, I would keep you till October, and then you can, it's up to 3 years, but you can get it for 1 year and then you can decide for a second year, so I wanna talk to CNS more and figure out, whether or not that computer would be a good candidate for that. I think it would be if we didn't just wanna keep it on Windows 10 and 10 and just say, changes. But also, you know, it's connected to the network, so there is a risk involved.
Okay, well, I mean, I would want to know specifically what the risk is.
Yeah, I wanna get more information from them on that, before,
You know, just hearing generically, well, you know, it's a risk in using it. Well, what risk?
yeah, driving a car is a risk. I still do that every
Yeah,
day.
right.
Some risks you just have to accept with life. So,
So accepting that there would be some risk, I'd like to know what risk I'm accepting.
so I want to reach out to them to get more information on that because, you know, the one at Highway definitely makes sense to.
Yes, it does.
To get a replacement for because that computer is being used actively.
Yeah, yeah.
Used by anyone with access to more information, so the quote they have in there is, you know, specifically, they marked it as for replacing that PC, but I think that's just because they had an open ticket for it already, so they're just like, yep, that checks that box. I tried to reach out to the guy and say, hey, would this be, you know, one-to-one swap for either of them? Didn't get back to me, but I bet that it would. So the quote in there would probably also be applicable to the computer at Highway, but TBD on the exact specifics of that. The other recommendations that they had, one of the other quotes in there is for renewing the Adobe Acrobat subscription.
Is that just for you?
I think it is. I'm not entirely sure. I asked him.
That's vital. You need that.
Yeah, I definitely do. I don't have it right now.
No.
It is the
I
pain.
think, I think the clerk, absolutely has to have that, and I think it's well within your jurisdiction to just
Do it.
get it,
Yeah.
do it.
Isn't
It's your
this,
software, because it's your software.
yeah. How is this different than what we've been paying monthly for Greg?
It's going to be on a different cycle potentially.
Well, yeah, but we don't see a monthly thing for the clerk. For Acrobat.
This is annual.
Yeah,
Maybe talk to Greg and see if
Yeah.
it's cheaper to get the annual.
Well, this one's it.
yes, but what,
Greg had.
Monthly,
yeah, we've been paying monthly for,
$19.99.
yeah, $20 a month for
40 times 12 is, where's our mathematician?
480.
Oh. Let's get Greg on the annual plan.
Yeah.
But you know what, he may.
240, right?
So
Add
here's
more bells and
it's the more expensive one, yeah.
Okay.
Mine is the standard, the one that they quoted is for the standard, it's $16.99 a month. Times 12 gives you that 203 or 208 figure.
You have to-
Gotcha.
Kind of sinking it out right now.
Yeah, if you need it, then you just go ahead and get it.
Okay, cool. And then the other two things that they quoted for, one is a password manager. Currently, I don't have a particular password manager, you know, Chrome has like the in-browser one, but those are not necessarily the most secure. Password managers are the ones that like store passwords, so anytime you like enter your password in a website and the browser pops up the little thing that says, do you want to save this password? And you hit yes. That's it, password management. It stores that.
Yeah. Is that then hackable though?
Yes. It's hackable as is.
Well, except that if you don't store it, in other words, you show it, when it actually do you save it and you say no, then it isn't there, you know? I mean, I keep mine on a paper list, you know, so if I need to call it up, I can say, okay, here, I'm flicking through pages here trying to find it, but it's not anywhere anybody else can get at it, you know?
already something that like, there are passwords that are saved in places and, for the most part, is broadly secure. But, that is a risk. And it is one step that is relatively low cost and an efficient way to just double up that security.
Was that one like $5 a month per user?
$7.
That was $7.
Yeah,
Specifically, this quote, I ballparked and I said 7 people, maybe.
It's basically talking about people who use company computers, right?
Yes. Specifically, I thought, myself, deputy clerk, Laura, Julia, or, Laura and.
Greg and Steve and
Gary.
me.
Oh, they probably have their
Yeah,
own.
they have their own. But, those of us who handle sensitive information, I don't necessarily know how much in terms of that sensitive information Steve and Greg handle particularly.
So what do you need passwords for?
Exactly. Like we have passwords for our bank, a big one.
Yeah.
The bank, the site that we use to sell hunting licenses and fishing licenses, a couple of other things. The site that we use to log into the website has a password. The site we use to log into the back end of the website has a password. There's a lot of passwords. We've got a sheet of just like 30 passwords.
Mhm.
It's I would certainly feel a lot more comfortable knowing that the passwords could be secured safely in a place that isn't just a sticky note on my desk. But at the same time, if that's not expensive, the board wants to totally cool sticky notes and just keep growing.
I think that a password manager also helps you generate passwords. doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's another bonus. You can basically
We're
generate.
gonna have this alphabet soup that they
Exactly.
generate that you'll never remember without the password manager to plug it in when you need it.
Yeah, you can have 27 character password.
Yes.
This virtually Fort Knox of password. That can be like encrypted,
Mhm.
depending on the kind. So they strictly recommended one, and they said if you're interested, we recommend it. And I said, okay, yeah. I threw out 7 as a ballpark estimate of who would be, who would be most applicable for. I think myself and Cindy definitely, because we sign into a lot of sites.
Mhm.
But the ones I named are just a few, I have to sign into Staples. At the end of the day, I can also do sticky notes, but actually during our training today, that was advised against for some reason. Probably because you can just throw it away in I wasn't thinking about it. But
Keep mine in a secure drawer.
yeah. The password manager was opening up their as probably a pretty simple thing that we can do to just beef up our cybersecurity just a little bit more.
Mhm.
The other recommendation they had was ITDR, Identity Threat Detection Response. I write it out 5 different times.
Mhm.
And that was the one that was $5 a month per user, and you have to. So the thing is that you have to do it for all users. And that one.
All users of what? Town email?
Yes, all licensed users. You've got 25 people that have emails,
Mhm.
so 25. Yeah,
So you can't
That's a
do
lot of money.
pick and choose, yeah.
that was.
So that's $125 a month times 12.
No.
$1,500 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mathematician over there.
Mhm.
Nice.
No, I have a calculator.
The
Some of those.
consider is that I feel like that they have been seeing more and more cyber insurance companies typically requiring that. So I said I would mention it specifically,
Yeah.
just so that's on the mind for the next budget season. Maybe we'd be able to talk with like the terms for renewal for the cyber insurance next year, early enough on to be able to take that expenditure into account. Because if it is going to be a requirement, it's gonna be, you know, several $1,000 requirement. In order to stay insured, which and you've got cost benefit analysis there.
Yeah, yeah, it costs as much as the insurance.
Yeah,
So I
and what are
don't-
they providing for, you know,
Yeah,
why aren't they doing that?
Yeah,
I
well,
mean-
that's the thing. I asked them that. I said, wait, shouldn't that be something that you guys are doing?
Yeah,
And the way that it was explained to me, it can actually be sort of broken down into what we have here at town hall. We have a, you know, fire alarm system. Our fire alarm system goes off when there's a fire in the building. It doesn't necessarily call 911 for us. We have to buy a fancy little gadget that does that.
which we just did last month or
Exactly,
recently.
yeah. So this is the equivalent of that fancy little do that. They call 911. Because right now, you know, the building could be on fire, but if no one's there to notice it, nobody's calling 911. Of course I am, because I live, you know, just across the street and I'm
Yeah.
going.
What's that smoke coming out of the?
But,
Huh.
yeah, so that's something just to keep in mind in the future. I told them, yeah, that one probably not gonna happen right away. But it's something
Yeah.
to keep in mind that more cyber insurance companies are requiring it.
well, then they should provide it, part of their service.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, no, I know, it just, I think what we need is a cheat sheet with all this stuff on it. And how much it costs.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A menu to choose from?
Hmm?
So yeah, password management was the one thing that I was like, that would probably be a really good way to, because you know, you can secure.
Yeah.
The base login that all of us have. Get it, so.
You know, this whole topic of IT and cybersecurity has been something we've mentioned at TCOG before, because it seems ripe for intermunicipal cooperation.
Yeah, how about that?
And at the last meeting, at the last meeting, we decided to abolish the committee because it wasn't doing anything. But then since then, Caitlin Olson, who was the supervisor in Ulysses, said that was a mistake. We need to come back to this. So we probably will when TCOG meets. Is it this Thursday or next Thursday? And reestablish that committee, because it's very expensive at covering this need on our own. When it seems like there ought to be, it would be more economical to do it collectively. For the moment, I'm inclined to say, well, when they require it, then we can do it.
I sort of get that same impression. It's like, yeah, we don't necessarily have that kind of money to be throwing around.
No, that's
We're a
crazy.
small municipality. We're not billionaires over here.
So what about the password manager though? The clerk definitely,
Yeah.
because you got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I shot out 7 as a rough ballpark. I thought, especially given, you know, the bookkeeper position and that might be splitting into an assistant supervisor.
Yeah, it could be 2 or 3 positions, but I don't think, I mean, I've got, passwords for like night class and bank and the state controller's office and, but they're not on the computer.
Yeah. The one that came to mind especially is, after we got an email earlier on, from a, local clerk who had a problem where someone using the wonderific horrors of the internet scraped an email from off of a handwritten letter that someone had submitted along with their planning board application, or like they filled in the field or whatever. And as a result, they got, an invoice for someone proclaiming to be the town and saying, oh, you owe us $5,000.
That's been going on for a little while, yeah.
So my brain is like all up and go, wow, okay, yeah, that really is the world that we're living in. And so that comes to mind with like, especially if there's going to be people who have access to accounts that pay bills. making sure that those passwords are secure, especially if we have people who might be working from home.
Mhm.
Would definitely be a further consideration, just to make sure that there's a little bit more of a security blanket there.
It pretty much relates to the device, not the location, because like, Laura uses her computer at the highway, and she sometimes takes it home and works from home, and she does now, but she's recovering from an illness or whatever. So I mean, it doesn't really matter where the machine is, but it does matter what's on it. And I think that, the bookkeeper, no matter how many pieces is split up into, to the extent that people have town computers, probably ought to have that protection. But I don't know that I need it, or that Greg needs it, or Steve needs it.
Yeah. My rough estimate was 7, just as a number.
Mhm.
I think that in terms of people that we currently have on staff that could probably really benefit from it. I don't know necessarily about highway, or you probably know a bit more about what's handled, like, what of the information, who has a lot of problems. I definitely think myself and Cindy would really benefit from it.
Yeah.
I think that, if you're comfortable with, handwriting, I think that's awesome. So probably not you necessarily, but, people with access to.
People that not only have access, but who use them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why,
But
that's,
accounting staff and.
Right.
Staff.
Accounting staff, thank you. Will probably benefit from password management. Software.
Laura, since you're here, you concur?
So I don't totally understand what it is that you're looking at here. But what you're talking about then, if I understand this right, is I know at one time we were talking about gathering all the passwords, gathering everything. But what would this mean Like me, I have many passwords. I have many passwords to get into the state, get into the federal, get into New York State retirement, I have passwords all over the place to get into programs.
Where do
Is
you
what
currently-
we're talking
where do you
about going to
currently-
affect these?
Where do you currently keep your passwords? On paper?
No, I just pointed to my head.
Okay, gotcha.
And I do have a lot of them. I do have them in folders. Like say I've got a retirement folder and I've got passwords. I've got everything written down to get into each one of these things, and just been from doing it for so long. I know many passwords, but so
what happens is that you would sign in to your bank or your reporting or your state.
yes.
And it would say, the password manager would come up and say, do you want this password saved in a secure location? So then you wouldn't have to remember it. Your
Okay.
application on your computer would save it very securely.
Okay, so that would be something that would be a lot easier, and especially with this transition that we're going to be working on here.
Right. We're gonna,
Something that it would be a time for that.
have 3 people all trying to get in the same place.
But
Yeah. Although one of the
there's
recommendations.
so many
from the-
times when these different programs come up and say, okay, it's time to change your password now. Now you want to change your password, and people have all types of things that they use to remember different things. And so this is a product then you're saying that TCNS is suggesting that we get that just keeps all of these passwords? Is that what this whole thing, keeping all the passwords in one place, so to speak, for all the things that we use?
Not cumulatively, all the ones that you have, so like passwords that I use would be saved within my computer.
And it was
And how
a-
much is this going to cost? How much would this cost to have this type of thing available in total?
$7 a user per month.
or $84 a person
So
a
you
year.
got $600 for 7 people a year.
Yeah.
Get that down to 6 people.
Six times 84.
It gets you down to about 500.
Yeah, a little shy of 500.
I don't know. I think it's
Do we
kind
need
of
to
worth it.
decide this tonight?
No,
Something to think about,
Something-
chew on?
just their recommendations.
Yeah.
And so, you know, their full findings report into the.
Yeah, right. We've got it. Yeah.
So it's a recommendation and it's a product, right? It's their,
Right.
is it their product?
No.
No, I don't think they've got they're not pushing their own
Oh,
stuff.
gotcha. Okay, I was just wondering how this all
Buddy.
comes about.
Sells them.
Yeah.
From being in the software business myself before, so I'm just wondering, you know, that's a
Yeah,
question.
no, fair question.
Where did this idea, you know? Okay,
This certain manager that they recommended is one that I've heard recommended several times.
Yeah.
by Other cybersecurity experts and actually added training under, you know, after the meeting, it's like, I can't officially recommend this, so you didn't hear it from me, but,
Yeah.
as one of those buts, that was one of the recommendations.
Mhm.
It's a good way.
so this is similar to then, you know, so many times you go into something and then it will say, we want you to change the password. Or then they want to know if you want to save the password to it.
Yeah.
I usually say I'm not going to save that password because I don't know where it's going. So I
Right.
know passwords and I put them in there. But this is something that we would have, that we would save them in our own system, that it would access and go into that particular thing. So you're saying it's safer to maintain your passwords in this than it is to have them out with each individual thing that we get into.
Well, it depends on where you're keeping them, but if you're saving into the computer without a password manager, then it's easier to hack. But
Right.
this is a little bit more, it's just more secure. But if you're not putting it in your computer, if you don't save it in the computer, then this doesn't add anything.
Mhm.
Not applicable.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You know, list a mile long, all the password that
Yeah.
you use, or if you're a wizard and really can remember them all, good on you, I can't.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
Gotcha.
But I mean, we've got, you got passwords for the Office of State Controller. Who are we putting at risk if somebody gets it?
Yeah, really.
The state controller?
Well, they can log you into the site, and if you can log in as Blake into the comptroller's site, oh, well, then you could potentially do something in there as Blake.
there's a lot of like fraud concerns more than anything.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily what information they have access to, it's what can they do that they wouldn't otherwise be able to.
With the information that they gather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that was mentioned today was right somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying to begin with.
Mhm.
But passwords are often how they are able to access information that they can ransom.
Mhm.
And so, you know, I am much more comfortable with a password manager. You know, if the board says, not accessible at this time, totally cool.
Well, right, because Google has one. I think,
Google has,
yeah,
I am concerned about the security.
right.
That may just be me being paranoid, but I really don't want to put my faith in that.
Right.
Especially with, you know, data.
There are
It's
others
just
too.
something to think about.
Yeah.
And
It's good to think about, you know, I still have a million sticky notes,
Mhm.
so,
Yeah, my notes aren't sticky, but they,
yeah.
they're easy to shuffle if they're not. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So the trouble with saying, well, we can think about it is it probably never come back to it.
We probably what?
We'll never come back to it. How do we remember?
Sounds like we will.
Budget, let's definitely come back to it. I know it's September, but,
Well, it's coming out.
you could ping us, you know.
It's within your budget to do it if you think it's important for the clerk to have. And I think the case can easily be made that the clerk more than anybody, any of the rest of us have a greater need because of the numbers of passwords that you use.
Laura, but if Laura's saving them, you know, in her brain or, you know, on a piece of paper.
On the computer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
Right, you know, of course, and you know, with the Laura now being divided into the pieces, so to speak, that would be harder to do.
Right.
But people can save on little pieces of paper, but
Whatever we have to do to make it
Yeah.
safe and make it efficient and make it, I'm in. Whatever you
Yeah.
wanted, however we want to do this.
one of the things they recommended not doing in the webinar this morning, which by the way, we all have to take this training, was to not share. We do this, I don't know if you do it in the clerk's office, where, you know, where, you know, you've got for access to state controller's office or to bank or whatever, you're not using the same password for 3 different people that each has their own password. So I don't know what the advantage of that is, but that's what they recommend not doing.
Okay, and there are some, like the Laserfish, they give us one sign on.
Mhm.
So,
For the
you know,
town.
there's 3 people that are managing those documents and we only get one sign on. So-
Yeah.
But that's different.
Yeah, it is, I mean, because, you know, so how could people use that?
I mean, it shows who logs in.
But it's all public
Individual.
stuff anyway. I mean,
Are we talking about the laser piece?
No, the back end is Laserfish, you know, so if you get that password, you can go in and just start.
these
deleting
things
it.
around, that's cool.
Yeah, what that's worth, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
That brings up something. There's no search on Laserfish.
It's true, because they're basically just photographic
You can't
images.
search on Laserfish.
It nitpick, because things aren't necessarily hacked.
I haven't been able to search on Laserfish for a couple of years.
When you come in tomorrow, I'll show you how to search on Laserfish.
Because I used to spend most of my life in the Laserfish. And then after documents got moved around, I haven't been able to. I brought it up probably 2 years ago. There's got no search.
Life is so much simpler now. Right?
Huh?
I said, life is so much simpler now. Right?
What do you ever search Laserfish?
No, I never found it to be very searchable.
Oh, it used to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's maybe have a training session or figure out how to get you to be able to search.
So you all.
Because there is a search.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. If I can't search it, Laserfish.
well, that's
the
a
point.
joke. Yeah, I mean, because,
See if I can figure out if you can, because I can.
I don't know.
And I don't think you have to be logged in as a backend user to search.
Have you ever
No,
done that? Searched on Laserfish?
I tried.
Can we go?
You've tried?
Yeah.
And you weren't able to?
It depends on what it looks for, but I mean, you know, it's only by title, right?
What?
So
No, it's just top.
what
you
you're
could put
looking
in-
for, yeah.
Yeah, the text search is, as a specific comment has noted, the text search is not very operational.
What do you want?
But
Would be
the
that,
title
then why not?
is,
Yeah, you
Titles
can
of
search by
what?
title. However, the document's filed, you know, the title, it's titled, you can search that way.
I mean, you can't, but I used to be able to go into Laserfish and type in, speed limits,
Speed.
and up would come all the meeting minutes and
so that's
agendas,
text.
huh?
That's text, you're searching the text of a document. If the
Yeah.
document is not titled.
Did you just do
speed
speed?
Right.
limits, It's not
Search.
speed limits.
Right,
So that's, okay, yeah.
and now it's only titled.
Oh, that's how, okay, so go.
That-
I think it's always has been, hasn't it?
No.
Okay, now. just
No?
speed
No.
answer.
Because it could,
That's really, because if you don't know, that eliminates the search being even useful.
pretty
Like,
much.
you know exactly what you're looking for, and when you're searching, usually you don't. That,
Right.
that is, okay,
I can try and figure, I'm not gonna be able to guarantee anything.
that's very simple.
It was my
I
impression,
used to spend a lot of time in that.
yeah. It was always my impression that Laserfish was basically a photographic file.
So we have the search thing open here, but it's.
So,
But
Yeah.
we searched on speed limit and didn't get it.
Yeah,
So.
we got
so-
nothing.
So it's not that there isn't a search, it's that the documents aren't tagged.
I mean, I think it's searching the title.
You should search then.
Right.
I just put flag into flag policy and it
Well,
showed up.
that usually will go away in a minute. Or two.
I'm
or
not
three.
living in the leisure beach. Thank you.
Oh, I did all the local laws and stuff by going through every meeting minute in that whole thing. And I used to be able to search.
Oh, have we, can I?
But when the documents, when we switched over, it didn't work
Okay.
anymore.
Can I suggest a topic for next week?
Yes, which is what's left on the agenda
Very
too.
Update on the code,
Oh, you mean the
General.
codification, yeah.
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 And,
Public hearing?
and I'll have an update on the crosswalk.
Oh, yeah.
That needs to be resubmitted and
Yeah.
PG Millen's gonna resubmit that, so I'll have an update on this.
Okay,
So
but we already authorized submitting it, so I don't think we need to revisit that.
There were issues.
Yeah, well, yes, so there's some things need to be changed, but I don't think I don't think anything that needs to be changed would change our
No.
authorization, right?
So the public hearing is
Next time,
about
yep,
the zoning amendments?
yep.
When is the sheriff coming for the flock? Is that in the second April meeting?
Does it still happen?
Might be the second.
Well, no, but he said he would come if I should check, but it was,
I think it was the second meeting,
was it the second meeting?
because I think there were two meetings he couldn't.
Yeah, well, he couldn't make the March meetings. I couldn't remember whether it was the first
Right.
April meeting or the second April meeting.
I have it in notes somewhere.
Yeah,
But I could be.
And asking Steve to come.
I did. Well, I didn't put it on. Okay. Asking Steve to come, yes.
What about the CDBG design grant?
All right. You want to put that on, right?
I would love to put that on the skate park.
Yeah. More in the skate park.
Hmm?
More in the skate park.
Shane said it can make it for that. meeting.
Okay. What Zach is alluding to here is the possibility of applying for a grant to do a master plan for Shane Spencer's property.
To do what?
A master design
Master plan for Shane's property,
Oh,
formerly Dodson.
gotcha.
Okay. Good start on the agenda.
Yeah.
Things always pop up.
Yeah.
All right, with that, thank you all for coming. Meeting is adjourned.
Take care, everyone.
Yep.
Bye.
You too.
Since you're off the record, I'd like to add that Leslie was completely correct in that Laserfish doesn't allow you to search for text unless it's basically the name of the document.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And it's terrible because I was actually looking for a specific subject within agendas and meetings, and it simply wouldn't work. In fact, it wouldn't even find words that I could read in the document. It wouldn't even find them.
Right, because it's not a text, it's just a
No.
title
No.
search.
No,
That's why in recent years, we have pretty much switched to putting stuff in Teams, which is searchable.
right, but that's not at all useful for the public.
Totally not helpful.
Well,
So
some
you're
of it
making-
is linked, some of those documents are linked and consequently searchable.
Well,
A lot of them are not.
a lot of them are not. And in
Yeah.
fact, the minutes, for example, you'd have to find the links in every
Not user friendly at all.
meeting page
No, it's
in
not.
order to find the document to search.
Right, but I mean, but what else, what are we to do? Because it's in the nature of Laserfish that we can't, it's not
Well,
easily addressed.
I can tell you that at one time, and it was years ago, I explored this subject by calling Laserfish, and they told me that the conversion to essentially a fax image of the document was automatic, but you could flag documents so they would retain the original PDF or whatever it was and make it searchable. Unfortunately, that required, shall we say, manual action on the part of town employees, and that wasn't going to happen. Maybe you could change that if that's really true.
That feature and I can't find it. If you know where it is, please tell me. I mean, I've called them and I was not able to get anywhere. So, if you know something I've done, please shoot me an email. I would love that. Thanks.
Yeah, well, I've told you what I know. I can't even give you the name of the person at Laserfish that I talked to because I wasn't a town employee, so they, how should I say, they were cagey, but they said it was possible.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Might be able to.
Sure thing.